right, next up is the teammate of Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant. Another big guy here, 6'3", 339 pounds. Woo! That is
Dude's an
crazy.
athletic freak. Is what he is.
That man has definitely been hanging out with Eddie Lacy. We have to do an Eddie Lacy reference to every single episode. 21 years old.
All from the Golden Corral.
Merrillville, Indiana. In 23, second team All Big Ten. This past season, 12 games, 32 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 5 passes deflected, 2 forced fumbled, 83.7 PFF grade, third team All-American, and second team All Big Ten. Which, first off, if you're a third team All-American, but only second team All Big Ten, kudos to the Big Ten. That's legit.
That's a lot of depth.
That's a lot of depth in one part. Yeah.
Damn.
Big size, like we said there. Guy is a gap plugger, point blank. Like we talked about Mason Graham even working with a guy like Dexter Lawrence. I like Kenneth Grant, and listen, if we got him, I'm not going to be upset. I don't think he's quite as good a fit because I feel like he's more of a pure nose tackle to a certain degree there because of the way he plays the game, where he wouldn't quite fit with what Dexter Lawrence already does, being the best nose tackle in the football, in football right now.
Right.
More athletic than you think for his size, so that's for damn sure. He does shed blocks. He does win one-on-one blocks when pass rushing. If you're going to do a pass rush move with a double team on him, you're going to have a little, you're going to probably stop him. He's not that guy necessarily. The only knocks really besides that is the fact that I do see him out of position at times. It's kind of like he's making his moves to get freed up, and then all of a sudden he goes, wait a minute, I'm not in the right spot anymore. And you do see that quite often. And sometimes you can coach that out, sometimes you can't. You got to have that awareness of where you're at while you're also trying to move it out. Obviously, James, you can tell that part of the story there. You know that.
Yeah, sometimes, Grant is in the spot where he's got that oh shit data boy play. You know what I mean? Like he'll make a great move, end up outside his gap. You're like, oh shit. Then he makes a play like, oh, data boy. He was another one in that USC game film that I had a chance to watch. He chased the ball down pretty well for a guy his size. And I think that's what caught me by surprise. He ended up out of his gap 2 or 3 different times. I'm like, damn, quit guessing. Don't go the wrong way. He's an A-gap player, ends up in B-gap, but then ran down the line almost like a defensive end to help get on the TFL. I'm like, what the? He's too big to be able to make plays like that. So those are some of the things that he can do. I've had some people argue with me and tell me that they thought that he was better than Graham this year. I was like, well, nah. I was like, I like both of them, and I think they complement each other very well. I'm not going to say that he's better, but I think playing alongside someone like that increased his draft value because they were able to put more eyes on what he's capable of doing. He's going to have to get a little bit more discipline and not guess as much as he does sometimes to end up out of position and using pure muscle and athleticism to get himself back in position at times to make plays.
I'll tell you point blank, if someone says Mason Graham is not as good as Kenneth Grant, there's a little cup they have to pee in real quick. I'm sorry. That's the same. Rob, what do you think of Kenneth Grant there?
Well, listen, he's a great
we
player.
broke James.
Like
Stop the camera. We broke him.
Listen, like you guys already said what he is. Like, I mean, he's an athletic freak. This guy like runs fast at freaking being pretty much 340 pounds. Yeah. And he gets all over the place. But he's obviously the number 3 in this draft.
Yeah.
He's not the number 1. But kind of like what you said, Drew. I do think since you got the best nose tackle in the NFL, arguably the best, why are you going to try to replace that position right now, especially when Sexy Dex is so young?
Yeah. Well, we've mocked him even before ourselves because he's the guy who was available. Like, if we get to pick 34, let's say hypothetically, and the Giants say, you know what, we really like Kenneth Grant. We need a defensive tackle. Here he is. It's not going to stop me from wanting him. Gotcha. I just would prefer a better fit for what we already have, if that makes sense. But sometimes you got to go, you know what? You take the best player there, especially when it's a position of need, and you just find a way to make it happen and make it work. Because you can coach around the talent you got. You can't coach around when you got no talent. That's what it boils down to. If I'm going to take somebody who I think, okay, this kid's going to make it in the NFL, he's going to be a damn good player. And listen, I'm not going to say crazy things like he's a Pro Bowler in the making and stuff like that. I think he's probably going to be an above average player in this league. It's my personal gut feeling. Now, you're telling me I'm going to get a guy who's above average player in this league probably, or I can take another guy that might fit the scheme better or might fit in better what we need. but I don't think he's going to be above average, or I don't think he's a surefire thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want the surefire thing, guys.
Yeah, because then you can just work on coaching at that point.
Or I can just change up what I'm doing on defense a little bit. That's a great problem to have. Oh, no, I have too much talent at this position. What do I do now?
Utilize my talent.
What's the last time we have Giant fans could say that? Seriously, like, let's be honest. When's the last time we can say, oh, no, we have too much talent at this position?
10 plus years.
Yeah, it's probably with the running back position. We had, Derek Ward, Ahmad Bradshaw, and Brandon Jacobs back in the day. That's probably the last time we can say, oh, no, we have too much talent at this position.
Wow, yeah.
I'm going old school on you guys.
That was a good problem to have back then, too.
All right, seriously.
Great problem. Earth, Wind, Fire.
I mean, you had 2,000-yard rushers that one year with Bradshaw and Ward, and you had Jacobs as your cleanup touchdown guy. I mean, it was spectacular. Right. I miss those days. Remember we scored touchdowns back in the day? You know who else remembers?
1-1 a game.
You know who else remembers? Petridge Farm remembers.
Petridge Farms.
By the way, Petridge Farms, if you're interested in sponsoring the show, 2giantgoofballs@mail.com. So we keep on plugging them anyway. I keep saying that over and over again. What the hell? Go for it. Pay us to do it. We will work for cookies. Just saying. Then we can start plugging diabetes supplies after that. It'd be great.
Yeah, right. Get your insulin.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.